The cosmetics and perfumes that we put on our bodies are just as harmful as tobacco and as harmful as the nitrogen dioxide gases that vehicles expel through their exhaust pipes. Every Christmas, we are bombarded with perfume advertisements on television. Perfume is not only in cosmetics and in the perfumes that are used to perfume oneself, these are also found in more consumer products. The multi-purpose formula of chemicals with which it is compassed is a panacea due to its great utility and the great economic gain it entails. It is the raw material that is supplied to many factories created by large laboratories for the production of perfume products. Unfortunately, this multi-purpose formula is becoming more harmful and is causing serious health problems for all people globally. When we talk about the toxicity caused by perfumes, we are referring to synthetic perfumes. The ideal and the most positive thing would be to use natural perfumes. In the manufacture of these synthetic fragrances, you have to thoroughly test your tolerance with all class of people. Before giving approval to this product, it could be used as a reference or as a standard to the most sensitive people so that it does not cause them any harm. Having met this requirement as a condition, in order to take the article out to the market and for the use of all people in general. When will the problem be over? No solution is ever applied because excuses of all kinds are used, such as stating that it is by the nature of the person himself that he has a predisposition to suffer intolerance to chemicals. Let's not abuse absurd justifications so much. Let's not use evasions with misguided resignation, expressing false compassion, proclaiming that there is no solution. Let's not expose that it is an exceptional problem. All are excuses for doing nothing. These people affected by multiple chemical sensitivity deserve to regain their dignity, to be understood, since their illness is sometimes not recognized socially. Let us put the charge of conscience and all the responsibility of the cause, to whom does it, that these toxic agents are everywhere. Not everything is due to a physical condition of the affected themselves, rather it is because of the manufacturers of these substances. They would be responsible for the fact that there are people who are sensitive to their products. That for this reason, they should be obliged to unify a part of the money they earn so that these affected people can collect compensation for the damages they suffer. The allergies. Another issue is the patients diagnosed by allergies to mites, pollen and other substances, and that in reality is due to the toxicity of some types of perfume, which affect some more than others. The allergology specialist diagnoses the patient that he has allergies, but perhaps it is not that, and his condition is due to these types of chemicals that we breathe, which we also put in the body, later becoming sensitive to natural things that should not be do us wrong. They will never determine that a person has a sensitivity or an intolerance to the chemicals of a perfume or some other substance due to lack of medical resources and few tools in health. In the specialty of allergies related to natural substances or other materials, the skin test or test that is carried out to find out which substance one may have an allergy to, the test can be positive or with a result of a type of allergy without one suffering intolerance for this substance, thus ending with unnecessary treatments in allergology. Explained in another way, skin tests are not as useful to diagnose as they are thought. Many times they only serve to diagnose the patient with a false allergy, causing more expenses for consumers, more economic losses for Social Security, and thus selling more medical supplies, more medicines, obtaining large revenues in favor of pharmaceutical companies. There are specialties that study the diagnosis of treatment and disorders of the immune system associated with the field of allergies, such as allergies to mites, pollen, animal hair, insect bites, different metals, also allergies. Food intolerances. Why can't medical protocols and treatments be developed to cure or treat the reactions caused by the aforementioned chemicals? In the national health system and in official medicine there is no specialty to tackle the problem with this type of chemicals. It would be time to implement it. The idea of this information is to stir consciences, open our eyes, encourage scientists, encourage doctors to investigate the case, to be able to develop criteria, have evidence, to convince politicians, judges, that they enforce their ban, ensuring that no multinational company involved in products made with these harmful chemicals interferes with the investigation. The symptoms they cause are irritation in the bronchi causing respiratory problems such as chronic asthma, not being able to breathe well, congestion, runny nose suffering from rhinitis, itching, dry eyes or conjunctivitis, inflammation, earache or otitis, eczema, itchy skin having atopic dermatitis, etc. Creating chronic irritation in the internal organs, as if we had an open wound, especially in the lungs and mucous membranes, exposing ourselves more to contact with bacteria and infections, facilitating the flu, bronchitis and other more serious infectious diseases. Chronic asthma is a diagnosed disease suffered by many patients without the specialist being able to tell them its cause. In a home, there is always a relative who applies these perfumes, causing another relative to have chronic asthma while living with him. Many patients would improve their health instantly at the moment of allowing themselves to be exposed to this aggression without the need to take medication. Possible diseases it causes. Perfumes can cause cancer, favoring the growth of tumors. They could interfere with hormonal functions. There is the possibility of genetic mutations producing reproductive problems. They can damage the central nervous system. They are toxic to the immune system. They cause skin conditions, lungs and liver, cause allergic reactions. Other disclosures: sensitive people who inhale these chemicals suffer from headaches, dizziness, feeling lightheaded, tired, get depressed by physical ill, that unconsciously interpret it, wrongly justifying that they are afraid of being in public. This is called social phobia, but being actually due to a physiological symptomatology caused by these perfumes, which are always present when there is more public. These people, for their peace of mind, it would be good for them to know that they do not have a social phobia at all. They do not have any kind of suggestion, and what they do have is a justified intolerance to these chemicals. Doctors do not have tools, nor an elaborate study to make a diagnosis, since it is not recognized as an officially established disease. Medical professionals should know that patients with multiple chemical sensitivity are not mentally ill. They do not need medications to remove a false somatization of symptoms. It is a very common custom in this profession. The reason why they use this practice is because they run out of resources. Those affected, for which they could be treated, is due to anxiety or depression caused by the suffering caused by a physical illness, which is multiple chemical sensitivity. What I am trying to say is that these people should not be made to believe that they are crazy. Their symptoms are real. They just need understanding, another type of treatment and other solutions. Harmful chemicals, which are added to the perfume of many products, have an apparent and so-called good odor. Good smell for some. These substances should be as prohibited and regulated as tobacco. There are people who compulsively put on these perfumes. They put on so much that they are not aware. I wonder, and I do not affirm, that if these perfumes can create an addiction or a dependency. Sometimes addictions can exist when there is a psychological reason. It can be suffered by insecure people with low self-esteem. There is also the possibility that the dependence on perfumes could be for a physiological reason. You can have an addiction to tobacco, alcohol, drugs, medications, and why not to perfumes. If a substance is inhaled, ingested or abused, the body becomes accustomed to it, and when this substance is lacking in the body, anxiety and dependence on this substance is created. The cosmetics industry uses the same practice, the same method as the pharmaceutical industry. With this, they will never lack consumers. The addictive chemical could be among its ingredients, so if one day the nebulizer is activated twice, which would be normal, over time the person gets used to it, it is not enough, and ends up compulsively lying down more and more, finding himself unconsciously in a cologne cloud, stinking and bothering on the bus, in the subway, in the office, or in the factory. No matter how many chemicals you put in a perfume, you will never be able to hide a lack of hygiene. It is more appropriate to shower often than to spray perfume. We will achieve good health for ourselves and for others. They are everywhere. Perfumes are reducing the quality of the air in closed places. That is why they should be prohibited in covered places, where there are people, in public transport, in an office, in a factory, for all the inconvenience and damage that they cause to the other people, especially if they suffer from asthma and other respiratory diseases. In shops, clinics and supermarkets, there is usually an air freshener that fumigates all areas of a premises, creating a hostile environment. When installing an air freshener in a place, we should think about customers, workers and people intolerant to these substances. All these people must be taken into account, as fortunately they are taking into account people intolerant to some food. In public places, wherever you go, there will always be a person fumigating, leaving a thick toxic cloud or a trail of smell in its wake. Surprisingly, what the chemical composition will be, so that it can be kept in the air and in the same place. The smell for so long. A committee or union should ensure occupational safety, recognize that this danger exists in the workplace, especially in closed places such as offices and factories. There is a multi-purpose formula of chemicals, which has been developed by laboratories for perfume factories and is the raw material for the manufacture of many other products that carry this type of perfume. The day the multi-purpose chemical formula that is used for many things changes, they will do us a favor, ending the problem, no longer having people with sensitivity to the products that carry these chemicals. The chemical compounds hidden in perfumes are under the protection of the so-called trade secret or under the secret of patents. Perfumers feel privileged when it comes to making their perfumes, since they can use any type of chemical without specifying or justifying it thanks to privilege of concealment that they enjoy, so that no one can investigate and study their toxicity. Therefore, they have the ease of working. In this way, a perfume can be composed of chemicals that can damage our health without anyone forbidding it. The harmfulness of the chemicals added to perfumes must be taken into account, and we have to start a campaign against them, convince them of their consequences, and get them withdrawn. The list of chemicals is extensive: parabens, triclosan, aluminum, sodium lauryl sulfate, polyethylene glycol compound, PEG, butylhydroxyanisole, BA, butylhydroxytoluene, BHT, phenylenediamine, dethanolamine, dibutyl phthalate, siloxanes, synthetic molecules, etc. They add synthetic molecules. They are ingredients created in the laboratory. They have added them to obtain a great variety of smells. They are molecules destined to deceive our smell and our brain, stimulating the secretion of neurotransmitters. Perfume is a product that is made by adding dubious additives such as pigments, antioxidants, bactericides, glycerin and surfactants. Also in its manufacture, the fragrance dissolves in ethanol, which is a type of alcohol. Both in alcoholic beverages, in perfumes and in other products for human consumption, only ethyl alcohol or ethanol should be used, never methyl alcohol or methanol. Methanol is a very toxic alcohol. It is contraindicated for consumption by living beings. Bad practices with other products. The harmful compounds that are added to food products would have to do an important investigation and follow-up. This would be a very serious fact, which would affect public health worldwide. Over time things are discovered, but nobody takes into account. Now, if you are taking into account the consequences of palm oil, since 2014 when the European regulation on food information came into force, how harmful this vegetable oil is, and the bad practices in its manufacture. Over time it has been shown that a building material such as asbestos causes lung cancer. After so long of fighting, the ban on asbestos in Spain was imposed in December 2001. There is a danger with household cleaning products, such as detergents, synthetic floor waxes, anti-grease products, furniture sprays, multi-purpose cleaning spray. With them we have to be very careful. Insecticides are also a similar problem and must be taken into account when spraying in public places. We return to perfumes. These synthetic perfumes are present in all the air fresheners that are used for home, shops and establishments. In some seemingly natural incense sticks and cones, they contain the same type of perfume made with the same harmful additives. These bars should carry natural perfumes. To most of the garbage bags for domestic or industrial use, in their manufacture, they also add this happy perfume. They would be just as practical without perfume. We must mention the use of products for washing clothes, such as detergents, especially fabric softeners. These emanate a strong smell and toxicity, which floods the patio with lights, perfuming any clothesline, reaching other homes, and having consequences for the neighbors. A person who wears clothes washed with these products would be permeating all the places where it passes and can affect many people. These products already clean by the action of the detergent itself and soften by the same softener that it carries. It is not necessary that they have perfume, it only serves to give smell. A home remedy to avoid the use of this type of softeners could be adding vinegar and bicarbonate to the washing machine, making the clothes a little softer than if you do not add softener. And although without perfume, what if it does, is that the clothes do not smell bad. The cleaning products of a lifetime such as bleach, ammonia, cleaning alcohol and other products for domestic cleaning are products that, due to their own chemical composition, are already going to be harmful to us because they are still going to make us more harm to our body when these types of harmful perfumes are added. There is a range of toilet products on the market, of which we are not going to name their brands. These are advertised as body hygiene products for the care of atopic and sensitive skin. With large print on the cover of their labels they indicate 0% parabens. I do not dispute that this is not real, but what is real is that in its list of ingredients it indicates in small print that it contains perfume. This range of products gives off a lot of smell, being very annoying. The perfume it wears is not natural, but is a synthetic perfume with substances that are harmful to the skin, eyes, bronchial tubes and health in general. For that reason, some products that are sold for the care of atopic skin do not take much care, being a deception. They are advertised that they are dermatologically tested. I would like to know by whom. You have to close the fence to toxics. You can start by not adding perfume to the products. They will serve you the same, giving you the same result. These synthetic fragrances, from what we see, They use them for everything and get great benefits in all kinds of products. The large multinationals, the pharmaceutical industry, the laboratories that manufacture with these chemicals are associated or are the same owners. They are the same ones who have also edited the protocols, the university books for public and private health, so that honest people like they are doctors and health personnel to train and study their careers and continue throughout their working lives studying and renewing themselves. But without them being aware that among the many positive things they learn, there is also a very hidden fund of indoctrination, imposing protocols and methods of action in order to earn enormous income in their business at the cost of gambling with our health. And with taxpayers' money, they are hiding information that both health workers and patients ignore. It is a problem that people are ashamed to express. You have to tell everyone so that it is known. Also, in order for someone to do a study and research, the miners introduced canaries into the mines to detect possible toxic gases that could cause explosions or fires inside them. People are unable to perceive carbon monoxide, but canaries are especially sensitive to it. This is similar in people with multiple chemical sensitivity. When exposed to chemicals, these people are the first to perceive it, and also those who start to get sick before. When manufacturing, it is necessary to investigate how these products affect sensitive people to give the go-ahead before marketing. There are selfish people who, as long as nothing happens to them, they look the other way, but they have to know that in the long run everyone can have serious illnesses as a result of these chemicals. That is why we all have to claim it and not admit that this exists type of products. The truth is that there is still a long way to go. We must as consumers demand that other types of means be monitored, other mechanisms than those of now, so that these products are more and better controlled. People with multiple chemical sensitivity are the most sensitive. They are the first to become ill. That is where it should be investigated, because this disease, although it may not seem like it, can be suffered by healthy people in the future. There are also a host of silent diseases caused by these scientifically poorly tested chemicals. Many are the consumer products that are involved. The Consumer Association must find out and remedy this problem. There should be a controlling body that does not allow itself to be bribed or intimidated by the lobbies of these large multinationals. Ban the use of paid scientists who develop criteria favorable to these harmful products to put a positive image on them.